Good afternoon, and what is a cool, grey and cloudy day. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of July, and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea. Almost finished. And a box to unbox. What I'm going to pull out of here is this, The Walking Dead Universe Role-Playing Rules Core Rules. So, this is the Walking Dead universe role-playing game. The Walking Dead has always been about characters facing impossible choices in an unforgiving world. With this game, you enter the world of the dead and must face these choices head-on. You can do this at any point in the timeline, encountering familiar faces and locations or new ones. But the hardest choices will always be the same. Who are you going to be? Well, you've seen many stories set in the Walking Dead universe. Now it's time to see yours. In the official Walking Dead universe role-playing game, you will play as people struggling to survive in a hostile world. Exceptional challenges can appear from anywhere, from the lack of essential supplies, from conflicts brewing within the group, from hidden construction flaws in your safe haven, or from approaching walkers hungering for your flesh. In the game, the player characters must not only hone their physical skills, but deeply explore who they truly are and what they are capable of in the best and worst of times. Expect the stress and stakes to be high. The rules are based on the acclaimed Year Zero engine, pushing the boundaries of the survival genre and making sure that every group can tailor the gaming experience to suit their own interests and playstyle. Relatively slim core book for this setting, but not entirely surprising. It's published by Free League Publishing. This is based upon the Walking Dead universe as depicted in the television series and its spin-offs from AMC. What's great, about this is it brought the world of zombies, essentially the walkers as they're known, not zombies in the setting, but essentially zombies, to the mainstream and made horror a more fashionable and acceptable genre to be on our screens once again. And you go back, and this is Walking Dead appeared 2011, and then the original comics based upon sort of like 2003, something like 2001. So you're thinking that we've been with the Walking Dead in one form or another for over 2 decades. So it's surprising it's taken this long to actually get a role-playing game like this. Why bother playing in it? And I think it's the setting itself which is slightly different to from other zombie settings. There aren't actually that many other zombie settings, but this is specifically one that you can say has an intellectual property, as it were. You can role play the characters you've seen on the screen, or you can interact with them, or you can see how well you survive in that setting. So we open up. Got a map of northeast Georgia. Nicely done. See what the map is on the other inside. Okay, it's the same. Okay, but I mean the thing is, the reason is because you've got Atlanta there, and it's an important site for the story of The Walking Dead. Credits page, and then we've got the contents page. Introduction, and essentially this explains what the setting's like, what role-playing is, task of the rules, the role of the game master, giving an overview of the world of the dead, and then they're looking at the player characters, essentially what drives them, being a group, issues they might have to deal with, the importance of anchors, basically one of the fellow player characters or NPC which you feel important as a player character, and the challenges you will face. So there's a good overview of that. And then playing the game essentially is looking at the modes: campaign mode, survival mode. So survival mode essentially is playing a one-shot. Campaign mode is playing multiple scenarios where there's a threat. But unlike a survival mode, the threat is right. It's not quite there. The survival mode is the threat is immediate. So explaining how the rules work, and this is going to be the Year Zero engine, which you'll be familiar with from role-playing games like Tales from the Loop, the Alien role-playing game, and of course Mutant Year Zero, all the way back when it was originally published. So Okay, more great artwork and describing the world of the dead as it was and is now. Nature of the walkers that might be encountered, and then the people, friends, foes, those who survive, what they survive for, and then we go on to the player characters. This is the ones you're going to be creating. So on. So basically, very quick kind of creation, choosing your stats, choosing an anchor and a drive, and then looking at stress and anchors, how that works, what gear you're going to carry, your experience gained, and then importantly your relationships. That's going to keep you going. You've got a list of possible survivors. They can work as NPCs, and then how to create a haven. So essentially, this is your sanctuary where you're going to try and survive, protected away from the Walking Dead. And then we've got some archetypes. So criminal, doctor, farmer, homemaker, the kid, law enforcement. I mean, basically modeled very much upon not just American society, but the characters you've seen on screen, the nobody, the outcast, and so on. The politician, the preacher. So lots of options there. They've got a section on skills and talents. And really nice artwork. Just that point of action is just dangling above. That reaching crowd of zombies, or sorry, Walking Dead. Here we've got actually basically on a guide how to use the skills, pushing the roll, stress dice, and so on. Very much going to be familiar if you have played a year zero role-playing game. Here's the skill list, and then possible talents, and this is going to be arranged by archetype. So you've got talents for the criminals, talents for the doctor, so on, the outcast, the homemaker. You've got general talents as well. Combat and healing. Now, combat is pretty deadly in this setting. Essentially, you're dealing with types of combat. So we've got one-on-one combat, like duels. That's can be with another, between one player character or and another. Could be between a player character and an NPC, or one zombie, one Walking Dead, one player character. Brawls are a bit more basically involve more characters. And then once you've taken damage, you've got rules for healing there. And a nasty table of critical injuries, possible other hazards. The critical injuries thing is just, one of the things is it's really slow to recover in this world. There is no instant healing. It's the real world, apart from the fact that, the apocalypse has come, the Walking Dead, and you're beset by the Walking Dead. Got a list of gear before we move on to vehicles. And then section on fighting the dead. And then options on walker attacks. What to do when you're fighting a swarm. Basically hold them off and run. And then home and away. Essentially, this is the haven, the rules for the haven. Growing it, making sure people can survive, teaching others how to survive, different projects and so on you can take. Essentially, those are the community rules for the setting. It's one of the things about the role-playing games from Free League is that it does tend to sort of like have community rules. For example, Mutant Year Zero is the first one to do it. It was the first Mutant Year Zero role-playing game, and that had community rules. You could actually improve the technology of your arc. And then we've got some example havens. and then option in things to do essentially away from the haven. It's basically going on runs, looking for supplies, and then we have running the game. This is a section for the game master. What the core concepts they might involve, campaign preparations, different types, and so on. Adding factions and creating their own havens. They can be of varying sizes. We've got an example faction there, the Black Heart and Sugar Hill. So you've got examples there straight up which you can use or model your own on. And you can add in secret issues, challenge lists, random events, and so on. Other locations that might be visited during the campaign, sessions and scenes to add in how to handle those, and associated challenges. The rules for travel, because you may well be traveling quite a long way to look for survivors, look for goods and items you can scavenge. You've got tables of encounters along the way, what they might want, and then NPC animals, also rules there, and then basically how to make it come alive, the advice for the game master on actually running the game. So you've got to basically tips and ideas. And they're looking at different modes. So we've got survival mode scenarios. And then we've got a campaign set up, Atlanta. So how to prepare that, NPCs and the Haven, detailing those, setting it in this particular location, factions which might be involved in there, the Living, the Reborn, the School, and so on. Swarms and locations. And then a fantastic location there. Just possibly, an aircraft carrier as your base, and then rumors to throw in, starting challenges and end game. What might happen? So you've literally got a campaign set up, an outline, and then we've got an actual full scenario there. An appendix, so basically encounters of walkers, empty rooms, just stuff like that, random locations. More non-player characters. That's in addition to the characters you might encounter, in the earlier encounter tables, things you might scavenge. Options for solo play. And the procedures involved. Player facing opposed roles, how to handle those, solo combat, solo swarm, and so on, all the way to the end. We've got the character sheet there. And then campaign, basically a campaign form, and the index. Now, the one thing that I am surprised isn't there is stats and details on a lot of the cast of the television series, which is a bit disappointing, but that'll be in a universe, basically a setting book, which I'm sure that Free League will be publishing in due course. But that feels very complete. Everything you want to play, even if you can't play the characters from the television series, I would grab the starter set if you wanted to do that. But in the meantime, that's the Walking Dead universe core role-playing rules. Well, if you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box containing a book or game or role-playing game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook, and we'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.